What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy CamATL, and welcome back to an NFL. Sorry, I was about to say Prize Picks, Draftkings video, FanDuel video, DFS video for NFL's Thursday Night Showdown at greenlightdfs.com. If you haven't grabbed your NFL weekly package yet, do so at greenlightdfs.com. You get the showdowns, you get the main slate, you get college football. College football alone already has almost taken down three slates before NFL even started. So yeah, let's have an amazing season. As you guys know, for these showdowns, I go through and kind of give you, kind of break down what I'm expecting to happen in the game and how I'm expecting to attack it. And then kind of talk about some plays that I'm interested in on the slate. And then I'll send y'all on your way. And then my next video is going to be the week one breakdown where we break down everything of the main slate. All right, so as you can see, our projections are uploaded at the Greenlight DFS Optimizer. You can see them here. All of our projections are in, good to go. To look at Showdown, all you got to do is go right here, go switch to Showdown, and it'll bring you to the Showdown slate. All right, and the projections for the Showdown slate, and you'll be able to kind of see who we like and the projections we like for guys and stuff like that. All right, so let's talk about it. So first and foremost, Kansas City's got a bit of a question mark with Travis Kelce at the moment. Travis Kelce, I believe, is having an ACL issue. Because of that, he could possibly miss this first game. So obviously, that's going to be a big deal to keep an eye on. Um, if he misses, I don't know. I mean, it's definitely in doubt that he misses this game, though. So if he misses, that's going to be tough. But I think no matter what, a spot that I'm interested in at the captain position, the person who I think has the highest probability of scoring the most points on this slate is Patrick Mahomes. Why is he not going in there? Okay, well, we got to do something with the optimizer. We'll work on it. But for now, I'm not going to lock him in. But Patrick Mahomes for captain. I don't know why that's happening. I was just on it and it was working fine. Okay. Anyway, for captain, Patrick Mahomes is the guy I'm going with. Now, as you guys know, he lost multiple weapons in the passing game after the end of last season, but he never really had great weapons to begin with. He doesn't need fantastic weapons. At the end of the day, he's Patrick Mahomes and he spreads the ball around and he can get it to anybody. These are all NFL caliber receivers, so they can all get some type of separation, and if they do, he'll find them. So at the end of the day, the highest upside play on this entire slate for this Thursday night showdown is Pat Mahomes. So I'm thinking Pat Mahomes is still going to get the W. Now it's going to be harder without Travis Kelce. This Detroit team, I'm expecting Detroit to be good. I really am expecting Detroit to be good this year, man. They showed some glimpses of, some good things last season. So definitely expecting Detroit to be good. But Patrick Mahomes at home in Kansas City is a beast. And if Travis Kelce plays, he's going to be even better. If he doesn't, I think he's still in play. So Patrick Mahomes is my captain spot that I'm really liking. Now, game script, game script, game script. We always talk about this. I'm expecting Kansas City to be ahead most of this game. I'm expecting Detroit to have to pass very heavily. I think Kansas City's going to pass heavily as well. Kansas City's a pass heavy team to begin with. I think Detroit is going to really have to throw the ball, though. So I want some receiving weapons on that Detroit side. Okay? Now, obviously, when that being said, Amon-Ra St. Brown, I can't lock him in, obviously. Not sure why. But Amon-Ra St. Brown is my run back for Patrick Mahomes paired up with Jared Goff. These are the core guys that I'm starting with, and I'm finding value, and we're going to talk about some value in a second. But Jared Goff paired up with Amon-Ra St. Brown is key for me, especially when I'm going Patrick Mahomes at captain. I need some type of run back on the other end because if Patrick Mahomes is smashing, that means Kansas City is scoring on a regular basis and most likely getting ahead, and Detroit is trying to throw the ball heavily to catch up, whether it's little dump offs to the running back, anything. He's going to be passing the ball heavily. Heavy pass game script for Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions this game. So Amon-Ra St. Brown, one of the best receivers in the entire league, breakout season last year, should have a huge game here against Kansas City. So Goff and Amon-Ra running it back on the other end. Now, with that being said, we're going to need some value plays. Now, I want to talk about the other guys, though, that I like. Okay, when it comes to Detroit, my favorite option, my favorite running back option that they have available and that I will be going with, I know they have David Montgomery, and it's a question to see how everything's utilized. But I really like Gibbs. I think Jameer, I think you say his name, Jameer. Gibbs is a fantastic option at 8-2. I think he's one of the guys that I'm definitely interested in. He can catch the ball as well. David Montgomery can too. Both of these guys could easily split carries, and then if they're gonna split carries, which easily could happen, I'm a little worried about it because I don't really like playing running backs who might be splitting carries. But Jameer Gibbs, I'm expecting is to be the main guy. You know what I mean? Let me take a look real quick at the Detroit Lions depth chart and see what they're thinking here for running back position, just to brush up on it really fast, to make sure. Okay, so it's showing David Montgomery at the top and then Jameer Gibbs as the two. Um, that's obviously something to keep an eye on. We're definitely going to want to keep an eye on that and see. Um, but yeah, I mean, I just think Jameer Gibbs is the one. We know what we're going to get out of David Montgomery. We know what David Montgomery brings. Jameer Gibbs could really be a solid talent. You know what I mean? He's priced at 8-2, so he's almost a couple thousand higher than David Montgomery. So the pricing wise, they're expecting Jameer Gibbs to get more work. I don't know. I have Jameer Gibbs projected over David Montgomery by a couple points, as you could see. I have them, around each other. It's the same. I mean, you can go either if you want to save money and want part of the running game, cool. I prefer to get more of the passing game, so I'm not too worried about either running back. I like Isaiah Pacheco. I think he's interesting for Kansas City. I can see a situation where Mahomes gets up. What's crazy to me is Kansas City, even if when they're up, they throw heavy. You know what I mean? Like, but the game script, I could see them getting ahead and Pacheco doing very well on the ground. Um, Kadarius Toney, especially if Kelsey misses, is going to be extremely interesting. Kadarius Toney had those moments on New York where the dude was a monster. He is a very solid receiver. He had huge, huge games. Actually, I had him in multiple lineups when I went crazy last season. Kadarius Toney is a talented guy. He's dealt with some injury stuff and unfortunate, but at 7K, I mean, if Kelsey misses, we're going to have much more value than I'm looking at right now. Right now, I'm recording this on Wednesday at 8:44 a.m. Central. So any news that has come out after that time, I'm not aware of. But yeah, if Kelsey misses, I mean, Tony's going to be interesting. Sky Moore is going to be interesting. Jerry McKinnon's going to get a lot of passes. Yeah, it's going to make this slate much more interesting. Let's talk value options. Okay, Marquez Valdez Scantling, if Kelsey misses, is going to be very awesome, very nice. Rashee Rice is interesting. If Kelsey misses, there's so many targets to go around, so many targets. All right, but when it comes to value, let's sort point per salary and let's look at the value guys that we'll be able to take advantage of here. Now, we talked about game script. We talked about how we're expecting Kansas City to be up. Point per salary is not sorting either. I'll get that sorted out as soon as I get off of here, but Josh Reynolds at 2.8 is one of my favorite values on the slate. He's a guy that I'm expecting to get good work here, especially with all of the attention on Amon-Ra St. Brown for good reason. He is their number one by a mile, and he is the guy. Josh Reynolds, I could see catching something, getting some space and catching something nice at only 2.8. So in a pass-heavy game script, all these value guys for Detroit are in play. Okay, you've got Marvin Jones, who's in play. All these guys are in play. Khalif Raymond at 800 is one of my actually, he grades out as the best by a mile, point per salary. Remember, this is a pass-heavy game script. Khalif Raymond might not play a ton of snaps, but he doesn't need to. He's not going to play a ton of snaps, but he's only 800, so we don't need him to. You feel what I'm saying? So I really like this spot for Khalif Raymond at 800 as one of my values to be able to get that game script plan like I'm planning with Mahomes and getting on the other side with Goff and Amon-Ra. Those are my core guys, and then my core values, Khalif Raymond. Yeah, in a pass-heavy game script, he's an amazing way to go. Keep an eye on the Kelsey situation because if Kelsey does miss, Noah Gray is grading out as the best tight end option in that situation. Let's see. Noah Gray, Blake Bell will both get big bumps. Blake Bell's only $200. So if Kelsey misses, man, we're going to have this slate's going to be very, very interesting if Kelsey misses. So there's a big question mark still, obviously. But yeah, so at captain, Patrick Mahomes. Running it back on the other side in the flex areas with Goff and Amon-Ra as my core way to go. And then the rest of the value you do with what you will. If Kelsey's out, Take advantage of those guys that we talked about. McKinnon's going to get a bump in targets. Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney, everybody. Marquez Valdez Scantling, Rasheed Rice. All those guys are going to get some work. My favorite value, though, on the Detroit side, Khalif Raymond at 800. Josh Reynolds at 2.8. You know what I mean? So even with Kelsey out, Mahomes is really going to spread the ball around, and a lot of these Kansas City guys are priced up a good bit. You know, you're getting Marquez Valdez Scantling still 5'4". You know what I mean? He's not like free because you're not getting like a huge amazing value on him, but he is going to get a bump, yes. But the ball will be spread around. Whereas in Detroit, they're going to be behind and they can't just throw the ball to Amon-Ra. They will a lot, but these guys like Khalif Raymond at only 800 pop is great value. Josh Reynolds at 2.8. So that's kind of the way I'm looking at it so far. Whatever what are you thinking? Let me know in the comment section what you think is the best way to attack this slate. If you agree with me, whatever. I can completely see a scenario where going Amon-Ra at captain or going Goff at captain and then going Mahomes in the flex area. If you expect more, like, you know what I'm saying? If you want to play that script as well, you can. But Mahomes, in my opinion, we have value that is makes sense on this slate. So I'm gonna go with the overall who I'm expecting to score the most on the slate in general, and that's gonna be Patrick Mahomes for me. Um, because I have that great value. If I didn't have that great value, I might play with different options, obviously, because the pricing will be different. You know what I mean? And I might need to save some money and go that 9-4 instead of Mahomes at 12-2 and try to figure things out. If Kelsey's out, there's a lot more to think about, obviously, but that's kind of the way I'm wanting to attack this game, y'all. So thank you guys for joining me as always. Again, Mahomes at captain, running it back on the flex with Goff, Amon-Ra. And my favorite value are those Detroit receiving options. If Kelsey misses, you have some value in Kansas City. They're not free or nothing. I mean, you do have Noah Gray. I think Noah Gray was the guy at 200, correct? No, sorry, Bell. Bell's the guy at 200. Noah Gray's 2.4. So those are the value options that you do have. So keep an eye on those. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me as always. Let's get this money. I'm out.